909 in Studio is brought to you by 90.9 The Bridge in Kansas City. To find out how you can become a sustaining member or to donate, go to bridge909.org. I have a special treat today. Bob and Una Walkenhorst are in the studio. New album is For Tomorrow. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, John.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
You know, the album is not officially out yet. It's going to drop Friday over at the Record Bar. Album release party with Of Tree and Storm Circus.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a fun night.
One admission, and you get to stay for all the bands. It's a kind of a group record release.
It's just going to be a big party.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So, I forgot. I really honestly was going to bring a box of Kleenex because Una Walkenhorst made me cry.
That's what all my shirts say now.
Yeah. So where did that come from?
People just kept telling me after shows that I made them cry, so
Own it.
I figured why not put it on the merch?
Yeah.
Just, so people know what they're getting themselves into.
So, if there's another motto or slogan that goes with the family, it might be, "This is where music takes you." Just back from Norway. How did that go?
It was great.
It was a blast.
Did 8 shows over about 12 days, and we had everything from great indoor shows to outdoor shows in a tent with rain and wind blowing. But all in all, it was a really fun trip,
Yeah.
and to get to share this experience, and Michelle was along with us too, get to do it this family trip and bring new music to our old friends in Norway. It was a treat.
It was really special.
I don't know what the press is like over in Norway, but it seemed like you were always talking to somebody. It was like a really well-documented trip.
Well, you got enough key friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
They document pretty much everything. But yeah, we actually had a color picture in the newspaper.
Yeah.
It was cool.
And I will say that, I pride myself on doing a lot of research, but I'm just not up on my Norwegian.
We aren't either. And
We're not either.
I've gone for 35 years, and I can't say anything but skål.
I'm sure that works, though. Well,
Luckily, they speak English. So.
Yeah, it's an absolutely phenomenal new record, and we'd love to hear some music if we could.
Okay, we're going to do the title track. This is a song that Una wrote. It's called For Tomorrow. 1, 2, 3.
Everybody's talking about the way it used to be yesterday, but I'm living for tomorrow. Everybody's talking about the times, feel the dream is in decline, but I'm hoping for tomorrow. These kings ain't learning from the past, think their reign will always last, but change is coming for tomorrow. So let them go and try to draw a line with hate dividing you and I. We'll be rising up tomorrow. I'm tired of standing around, feet planted on this ground. Aren't you tired too? We could change it all right now, tear all these statues down if we really wanted to. What will we do? What will we do? Everybody's standing in this storm as the future flips and forms. We're all fighting for tomorrow. Every dreamer, hoper, and defender, all the names that you remember will be coming round tomorrow. Ooh, we're tired of standing down, being punched and pushed around. Aren't you tired too? Ooh, we could change it all right now. Tear this foolish wall on down if we really wanted to. What will we do? What will we do? What will we do?
Bob and Una Walkenhorst live in the Bridge Studios, and a lovely version of For Tomorrow. This album ended up being more topical than you expected.
Yeah.
I think that both living in these times, but also as a generational kind of record for Una and I, realizing the world that we're in and the world we're leaving for the generations that are coming up, really did make that into the songs. That this is one of Una's songs. A lot of people thought I had written this song. Says that's like something the Rainmakers could do.
I think it was.
Una wrote this.
It would have been kind of hard to make this album right now without it being somewhat political.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hopefully you'll forgive me for this, but I want to talk about growing up a little bit.
Okay.
Everybody comes in here and they talk about, dad's record collection or the brother's record collection. But you had a little bit more than that. You had grown up in a home that was pretty much dedicated in a large way to music.
Yeah. People have asked me whether my dad pressured me into music or anything, whether he kind of tried to steer me that way, but it wasn't really that way at all. We just played a lot of music and listened to a lot of music, and I don't know, it just seemed natural to be immersed in music in my house.
And actually, the times when Una was growing up was kind of some of the lesser music years for me. I stayed home. I wanted to be there when the kids were growing up. So music wasn't always present like you might think. There was years where I kind of stepped away from it.
But even when you weren't playing professionally, we would sing Beatles songs at night before I would go to bed, or we'd be listening. There was always music playing.
Yeah.
So
and there was always guitars sitting around.
Yes.
If you want one, there's one sitting around.
So, do you remember the first time that you sang in public with your dad?
I was in preschool.
The Christmas program at preschool.
And we have a home video of him coming to my preschool to sing Christmas songs, and I'm sitting up there looking very proud to be singing.
And very
with him.
serious.
Yeah, very serious and very proud.
And we did the national anthem out at a soccer game when she was about 8.
In fourth grade,
It was
yeah.
really fun, yeah. So, there's always been these moments.
Well, I was going to bring up the look on the face, but I wasn't going to bring it up for you. I was going to bring it up about Bob, because, Bob, I've known you a long time, and there's a face that you wear every once in a while, and the only time I ever see it, the only time I ever see that face is when you're looking at Una.
When I'm looking at Una. The musical communication, and I try not to just stare at her the whole time I'm singing, but the kind of this circle of energy here is a real deal, and I can totally get lost in it every time we start a song, and just the visual communication with her, and wherever we are playing, once we get inside that circle of making these songs together, I'm in the same place, and it's a nice place to be. So
when you all decided to do this, it's such a well-known thing that family voices seem to have a quality. And I think blood harmonies is a phrase that
we
you
brought
sort
it
of
back.
latched on to. So, like, were you aware, were you thinking about that going in, and did you try and, like, emphasize harmony because of that, or did you just take it as a gift?
We didn't think of the common tonality we have. You know, my voice has always been kind of a blessing and a curse. It is what it is, and people can usually identify it. I don't think that Una necessarily sounds like me at all, but there is kind of a timbre in there that fits together well, like most families that sing together. But we have both just always loved. I mean, we're songwriters first and foremost. We're songwriters, and we've always loved songs that actually dig deep, either into a social topic or a very personal experience, and then to musically turn that into a piece of art that communicates it. Harmonies take that into that deeper realm.
Well, and like you've said, as someone who's always sung lead, basically, to be able to kind of find these fun Garfunkel moments where you get to come up with these like crazy harmonies has been kind of fun.
I have a good friend who is kind of the second guy with Walter Salas Humaris from the Silos, and he said, "Man, getting to be Art Garfunkel is the best job in the world. It's the most fun thing, figuring out those harmonies." And I have truly, it's because I've always been the lead singer in the Rainmakers. Getting to be mostly the harmony singer on this album has been a musical treat, absolutely.
Well, we'd love to hear another song if we could.
Okay. And this is very much a harmony song. This is called Any Given Day.
Mornings pile up to the sky. Don't wish it away. All your fish are stacked too high. Any given day. Ringing bells and ticking clocks break the quiet day. Fire alarms and broken locks. Nervously I wait. So where to? Now I cannot say. I love you. Any given day. Footprints in the sparkling snow. Wind will soon erase. Someone comes and someone goes, leaving not a trace. So where to? Now I cannot say. I love you. Any given day. Calendar of falling leaves, broken rake in hand. Seconds, minutes, days, and weeks blow across my land. Helicopter maple seed sprouting where it lands. Black of dirt and mist of green, endless second chance. So where to? Now I cannot say. I love you. Any given day.
can't tell you how much fun it is to sing that song.
Yeah, it's quite lovely. That's one of yours.
Yeah, that's one of mine. That's the thing. People never can really kind of guess who the writer is on most of these tunes.
Yeah, I might have flipped those two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might have flipped those two. So, so
And that was
you're-
not going to be a Rainmaker song. So.
So you're 15, and you decide that.
Not now, but
Yeah. You were 15.
Although
and-
a lot of people still think you are.
Yeah. Take that, run with it. But when you were 15, you decided that music was your deal.
yeah, I think it was about that age that I really started actually writing songs that I was happy with and realizing that this is probably what I want to do.
But you did not want to ride on your dad's coattails.
No.
And so what most people would look like as like a benefit, and of course it has its benefits.
Absolutely.
But it also kept you from playing outside of the house.
Yeah, well, several things kept me from playing outside of the house for a while. A, I'm a huge introvert. But B, yeah, I mean, I knew that if I was going to start playing music and I was going to do it in Kansas City, that I would probably not have that hard of a time booking shows because everyone knows my dad, which is like you said, kind of a blessing and a curse. But I wanted to know if I was actually any good at this, and I thought, I'm not going to find that out here. I've got to do that somewhere else. And now that I've kind of found my place in it all, now I'm so glad to be back and doing this together and taking advantage of some of the world that you've built up here for us.
Good.
You know, the thing about it is you if you're not performing out and you decide that you've got to go out into the world, well, so like how do you do that? And I think that your plan was perfect and also kind of insane.
Oh, both, yeah, for sure. Maybe leaning more towards the insane part.
So describe what you did.
So when I was 21, we recorded my album Scars, and then and I had really not played out that much. I had done a few opening sets for you at the old record bar and done a few things here and there, but really had not played out that much. And then I just decided, okay, well, I'm going to make this album, and then I'm going to get in my two-door Honda Civic and just drive around the country and play as many places as I can. And
So did you have any gigs booked at all?
when I first started, I think I had maybe a couple, but it was mostly open mics. I was just going to all of these different open mics all over the place, and then once I kind of started feeling like I could play in public, I started booking more of them and actually having actual gigs lined up.
And it was actually kind of a good time for you to learn that part of the music business. You realized, you call ahead, you find the key
Right.
person.
I just wanted-
then
I had
you
to
have a
figure
gig
all that
waiting
out,
for you.
yeah.
But you did learn all that.
And I don't know, I've never been very good at taking lessons or I don't know. I really like finding all that stuff out for myself, which is also kind of a blessing and a curse. But yeah, I figured that all out and spent about a year and a half doing that.
So clearly, if you're doing open mic nights, it doesn't bring in a lot of cash. You had to build up a nest egg to make this happen.
Yeah, definitely. And I had been saving up money for a long time and had some crowdfunding support for my album. And but, I think also people's kindness really came out when I was doing that traveling. The open mics don't make a lot of money, but you'd run into the right people who would think, oh, this seems like what you're supposed to be doing, so I'm going to invest in that some way.
I'm going to take you home and give you a sandwich.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
People just taking me into their homes or people, paying me in some way. But I think...
Yeah, you did. You were very much reassured by the kindness of strangers out there
And
in
I
the
also
big world.
started busking a lot while I was traveling. So that was kind of more of a way to make money than the open mics.
So I was just looking at your itinerary, and it's like you did Chicago, then the East Coast, went up through Canada, down through Colorado, over to Seattle, down the West Coast to the South, up to Nashville. Mm-hmm. And then you came home for a couple months, and
Yeah.
then you repeated it backwards.
Yeah, basically. It sounds so crazy when you say it that way.
Sounds crazy now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of it's that dedication of this is the only thing that matters. I have no other plan.
Yeah.
I'm doing this regardless of whether it seems to make sense or not.
Right. Well, and I think another part that kind of went along with that was I was at this point in my life where I kind of needed a time by myself to just, I don't know, learn more about myself. And so going out and playing music and getting better at what I wanted to do as a career, and also having immense personal growth in that time, just, I don't know, everything kind of seemed to point towards just doing that.
Right. So this is bold, and it's artistic, and it's brave, and it's wonderful. But I just can't help thinking about Bob sitting at home and then hearing that you are sleeping in a shack in Albuquerque in
We
an
usually found out
armchair-
about that after the fact.
in an armchair that someone was supposedly killed in.
Yeah. And again, like, I look back now and I'm like, 21-year-old Una, what were you doing?
What were you thinking? All those 4 years ago.
I know, but it seems like I know that that's
does
not
seem
that
like
long,
forever
but
ago.
a lot of things have happened in that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those things definitely were there.
One of my nice dad moments was the last thing she did before she left. And by the way, her first drive was going to be to Chicago. And I, at the last minute, I said, what's the longest you've ever driven before? She said, about 90 minutes. I said, okay, pace yourself. But
I was
so yeah, she's a champ driver. The last thing I did, I said, okay, this little box, this is a hide key.
Well, don't tell them.
I'm not going to tell them where it is. Can I tell them the story?
I guess.
It's a good story. So I stuck it under the bumper, and I said, here's where it is if you happen to lock yourself out of your car. So she goes up to Woodstock, New York, which, by the way, her very first kind of real gig on the road, she is on the bill with Happy Traum, who was a legendary guy from the 50s and 60s Greenwich Village scene. And she calls me while I'm playing a little house show here in town. She goes, there's going to be a special guest tonight, John Sebastian. So her first bill, she's with John Sebastian and Happy Traum.
Yeah.
Good first gig.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
pretty happy with that.
But the people in Woodstock were very kind to her, and she's staying in this house out in the woods. And I get a phone call, and she goes, Papa, where's that hide key? I'm like, good thing you didn't lock the car, the phone in the car too, and you got reception out here. But she got the car open, got back on the road.
All the dad tips I needed.
And now we know that the hide key's going to have to find a new spot.
I don't even know if it's there anymore.
I don't either.
Let's go out
We'll
and
find
check.
out when I get locked out of my car next.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'd love to hear another song if we could.
Okay, do you want to tell them about?
Yeah, this is another one that I wrote, and it was originally kind of about my time in New Orleans, spending so much time worrying about flooding when I was living down there, that every time it rained, I had to look out and make sure my car wasn't getting flooded, and it was so foreign to me to have to be weary of everything every single time it rained. So I had Afraid of the Rain as a line in my head forever, and then ended up just kind of relating that back to my struggles with anxiety and depression throughout my life, and how sometimes that storm can just be inside your own head and follow you around. So this song came out of all that, and it's called Afraid of the Rain.
I've been pacing around, trying to wait out this storm. Feels like it's been pouring since the day I was born. Can't control the weather, though Lord knows I may try. I just hope it stops pouring before the day I die. And I know there's no place without pain, but I'd at least like to go where I'm not so afraid of the rain. there's no place without pain, but I'd at least like to go where I'm not so afraid. Afraid of the rain. 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 Oh, but even when the sun is shining, my mind is full of thunder and lightning. Even when the sun is shining, the clouds above me keep on crying. Even when the sun is shining, my mind is full of thunder and lightning. But I keep going, I keep surviving and hope that I might find the silver lining. And I know there's no place without pain. And I know there's no place without pain. And I know there's no place without pain. But I'd at least like to go where I'm not so afraid. Afraid of the rain.
That was really lovely.
Thank you.
Bob and Una Walkenhorst, our guests this afternoon on the Bridge, a new album for tomorrow. Album release party Friday night at the Record Bar.
And we will be joined by Sasha Groshong on cello on all songs.
And
during
she's
our
playing along with all three bands,
Yeah, so
and
she's-
she's amazing.
set. Yeah.
That's going to be great. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, Una, you've gone off. You've slept in the chairs of dead people.
Yeah.
You've
Done it all, really, at this
Yeah,
point.
you
Where can
slept
you
in
go
your-
from there?
slept in
around the
your
block.
car,
I
camped
did.
out on the beach or,
Yeah.
So, did that give you license to come back to Kansas City and feel like you'd earned a spot?
I think so. I think, just living or, having a bit more of a musical journey of my own on the road and then in New Orleans kind of made me more comfortable coming back and saying, okay, I'm ready to book shows here and know that it's, even if it is because I'm related to you, I also think that I deserve it. Like,
Yeah.
I think that I've earned my place there.
One of the nice responses we got on the road during our shows in Norway was so many people who had known me and my music for a long time coming up at the end of the show and saying, this is really a duo. This is really a very even balance. And I said, yeah, it really is. Una's songs, again, you can't tell which ones are Una's,
That's
which
what I
are
was gonna
mine. And
say,
I think
right?
I think that shows a maturity in her work that really does balance things well. And playing with her, I'm on my toes. It's like she doesn't make mistakes, and I'm like,
I don't really. I don't know
let's
about
say
that.
you cover well. But playing with her is a very equal and even balance, and I think the kind of the two-person songwriting power that we bring to this project, it's it's a good thing. And it really shows what she's accomplished on her own.
So it may be even, but somebody's got to bring it up first. Who broached it initially?
We had talked about it
Yeah.
for 2 or 3 years, saying if there's ever a time, and she had kind of reached her end of her time in New Orleans and was trying to figure out where to
Like,
go
well,
next.
where am I going to move next? What's going to happen? And then we kind of realized, well, this is kind of a time where I could come back to Kansas City for a while and we could do this chapter of things.
And this may be the only time. You never know what's going to change, but we knew this window would line up before she moves on to whatever the next thing is. And I think that you've been pleasantly surprised to find out what a great supportive music town this is.
Absolutely. Yeah, Kansas City has really surprised me with just how kind and supportive everyone is here. I mean, not that I didn't think it would be that way, but, you know,
Not every city is that
not
way.
every city is that way. And New Orleans is a really hard place to play music and make a living off of it. And here, I just feel like people are so supportive and really want to help each other succeed, which is just fantastic.
So when you got started on this project, your initial thought was, well, we'll write together.
Yeah. We thought we would do some co-writing, and that didn't really happen in the truest sense.
Yeah, and it is not something that I ever found very satisfying. I never wrote with other people. I tried, it just didn't go there. So we pretty much wrote separately and then would shape the songs together once that we brought them in.
Or I would send him like an email with like 10 songs in it, and I'm like, I don't know what these are. Tell me if you think these would work. And
go,
you're like,
2,
okay,
4,
well, that's
6,
a
and 8.
solo song.
Yeah.
That's a solo song. These would work. And so, yeah.
Bob, you've spoken of having to get over being dad, get over being mentor, and be collaborator.
And that only took about a month of working together. Well, I mean, really, that's kind of a short time.
Yeah.
The first few steps into this project, Una was still in New Orleans, and we were bouncing things back and forth on email, and she comes home for Christmas, and we work out of some songs for a show. But once we started really getting down and working out what I thought of as really adventurous new material, things that were steps into areas I hadn't ever gone into as far as song structure, I soon learned to not just say, oh, here's how I think it should be done. I'd be like, what are you hearing there, Una? And try to get inside her sonic world and find out that, oh, yeah, that quit being dad, quit being the guy with that thinks he's got all this experience, and be an equal partner in this, and you will enjoy it much more. And I sure have. I really have.
So has it changed you?
Oh, I mean, I feel like I've learned so much. And as far as just, the process of making, I had made an album before, but we did it so quick that this one, I learned a little bit more, and I'm always, learning new weird things on the guitar that he does that I'd never thought of. Like, he uses his thumb, and I'm like, what? You just pick up all these cool things that I hadn't, and I've got a whole new sense of appreciation for his talent and his skill. I think growing up with him as my dad, people would always ask me, oh, what's it like to have Bob Walkenhorst as your father? I'm like, I don't know. He makes pancakes. Like, it's great. And now that I'm like, I'm in it more. I'm like, wow, he's an amazing songwriter. And like, it's been really, oh, you're welcome. I think it's been a learning experience for both of us, for sure.
And you both brought music to the table. You've introduced Bob to Maggie Rogers. He's introduced you to Joni Mitchell.
Well,
She knew Joni.
Yeah.
He's introduced me more to Joni Mitchell.
Yeah.
But we've definitely been sharing music and stuff.
So you're continuing to write songs. It's been a while since Scars. Are we going to get another solo
My
record?
plan is, we've got dates throughout the rest of the year, and then 2019 will be the year of the next solo album for me. I'm done putting it off and doing other things. I just want to do it.
Anytime.
I think that this is, you can just see it on stage that this has been a joy for you. And I hope you understand that this has been a joy for us too. This has really been quite special, and appreciate everything that you all are doing.
Thank you.
It's a gift. The new album is for tomorrow, and the album release party is at the Record Bar this Friday. We'd love one more song if we could.
We're going to play the last song on the album, which is always a challenge for us to play. It's not the easiest song in the world, but I really wanted to have a good recording of this today. But it
So
was,
we'll try for that.
it was the last song that was written for the album, the last song recorded, and it's about perspective. It's about seeing the world from above, about seeing the bigger picture and not losing hope when you get lost in the details, keeping the big picture in mind. It's called Flyover. 2, 3, 4.
As we fly over the ocean, coming back to this dark land, we are one and we are many, and the famine is at hand. Bellies full and souls are starving, crowd of millions all alone. Fog rolls in over the lowlands, and we've lost our way back home. Fly over, look down, ribbon roads and starlight towns, twinkling lights cover the ground as we fly over. Prairie fires reclaim the heartland. 'Neath the ashes, hope remains. Under a quilt of square and circle, justice sleeps until the spring. Fly over, look around. Lightning strikes and thunder sounds straight into the storm we're bound. As we fly over. I will wait for you forever. I will still believe. I will be there when you call me. I will never leave. Step aside, here comes the future. Douse the match and drop the stone. Touching down, our hearts are pounding. Kiss the ground, we're finally home. Fly over, set your mind on that blue horizon line. We will get there in due time as we
Bob and Una Walkenhorst. That was amazing. You know, the generational thing that's happening here is like a good story. But I think the thing that makes it great is that these songs feel timeless.
That's what we're hoping for. You know, we knew there would be an angle on this that, like I said, a story. We wanted the music to step past that.
Yeah.
To where it's like, oh, this doesn't really matter that you're father and daughter.
Right.
This doesn't really matter. The story doesn't matter as much
We
as
just
the
wanted them to
music
be
does.
good
Yeah,
songs,
we wanted
yeah.
it to be good.
You know, and I'm sitting there, you know, standing by a person that's younger than I am, and I'm wondering, like, okay, generationally, are we looking at different people? Are we, you know, I think everybody's going to perceive it their own way, and just like every song, they finish the song in the hearing of it, but it's all quite lovely. And like I said, this has just been a gift and a joy, and it made me very happy today.
Well, thank you, John.
Thank you
Like
so
you
much.
said, you know, you and I have known each other a long time and seen each other through a lot of different changes in our lives, and this is a nice point to see each other again.
Yeah, it sure is. Bob and Una Walkenhorst, the new album for tomorrow, and it's going to be available Friday night at the
And on
Record
vinyl
Bar.
Friday night, too. It's our vinyl
How long
release
has it been
party.
since you've been on vinyl?
1989,
Yeah,
88,
You
I
thought
think.
you were free of it.
Yes,
they're making them better now.
that's true.
That's true.
They're still just as heavy to carry around, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Bob and Una Walkenhorst, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you,
here on The
John.
Bridge.
Thank you, The Bridge.